The second thing we see that's interesting about this woman's faith is her faith did not give up when it was insulted. Now, because you had this one part where she blew all protocols to be able to come have access to Jesus. But then when she actually gets near to Jesus, the response that Jesus gives her is not what she might have expected. And even when you and I read this passage, you're kind of bewildered because it's interesting how Jesus treats this woman. He treats her a little bit harshly. She approaches Jesus correctly, with boldness. She fights through the crowd, falls at his feet, and offers a legitimate request, but there was no way she was prepared for the harsh response that Jesus gives her. At first, Jesus did not even acknowledge her, okay? He acted as though he didn't even hear her. If you read that passage, here's this woman screaming, "Son of David, have mercy. Son of David, have mercy." Jesus is just walking. He's just walking to the point that the disciples get annoyed and tell Jesus, "Would you tell her to go away, Jesus?" And even when the disciples asked that request, Jesus didn't turn to this woman and speak to her. He still looks at the disciples and he speaks to the disciples. Jesus says to the disciples, he says, "Hey, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. And it would not be proper to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs." She was a Gentile. And to add injury to her insult, Jesus compares her to a dog. Now, how many of us would respond positively if someone compared us to a dog? From your silence, I take it won't go too well. Now, if we had been in her shoes, we might have reacted pretty sharply, pretty negatively. Some of us might have said, "Who are you calling a dog? You're the dog." If you were insulted, it comes so quickly you don't even realize you'd said it. Here's this woman being insulted to the core. She was already being pushed away, chided for being a Gentile, and Jesus says to the disciples, it's not good to give bread meant for the children of Israel to the dogs. This woman did not have any of her counselors, helping control her emotions. There was no one there. And what was unique is the way that she responded. So Jesus says to his disciples in response to the question, he says, it's not right to take the food that's meant for the children, the bread that's meant for the children, and throw it to the dogs. But this woman, she didn't miss a beat. She immediately had a response. And she says, "Yes, Lord, but even the puppies under the table get the children's crumbs."